Welcome back to another episode of the Experts in Fire podcast. I'm your host, Mike Vennard, and with me today is Randy Mowry. Today's episode is the future of fireplace and hearth design. Let's get into it. Hey, Randy, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. How are you this morning, sir?
You know what? I am hearing that we are going to have record high temperatures today. So, I'm pumped.
I did hear that. It's beautiful outside. I walked out with the dog and I had a sweatshirt and sweatpants on, turned right back around when that dog was done and put a t-shirt on. I'm like, yeah, I don't need that.
It is. It's beautiful. I did hear some folks complaining about the temperature, and I had to jump in to try and squash that conversation of why would you be cursing our high temperatures? But they bring a valid point here in the beautiful state of Michigan. If it gets too warm too soon, we get buds. And then the cold and the freezing is going to come again. This is just a tease. We live in a teasing state. And then it kills the buds, and then we don't get flowers. Yeah, my kind-heartedness, I looked them straight in the eye, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Buy more plants, and I walked away. It was pretty funny. So, Randy, today we're gonna discuss. We're gonna grab our crystal balls here, and we are gonna talk about the future of fireplace and hearth design. And it's something that we've discussed doing. We've discussed, how do we want to kind of format that type of a podcast? But it's really, there's a lot of cool things that are going on, but there are also a lot of stresses on the industry that are forcing it to move in different directions. So let's just take some time and we'll walk through this stuff. And then to our listeners, if there are pieces to this puzzle that you have as we're walking through this, shoot them over to us. We'll even do a recap of this and maybe even dive deeper in different places. I think it's a great opportunity for us to look at how fireplace and hearth design is kind of sketching out for the future.
I'm sure there's stuff in here that we're going to miss. There's just so much out there. We've just put down a few things to kind of go over.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, we kind of broke it down into two areas, and that is gas and electric. And we're going to kind of take a look at the future for those, and we'll do some comparisons as we walk through this. But in terms of gas, what is one of the major pieces that the entire gas industry, in terms of gas fireplaces, is looking at facing right now?
Yeah, when it comes to the gas, I think it's just going to be more of like that environmental part of it. The shift towards, making these fuel options better, more efficient product when it comes to the gas.
Yeah, I think that one, the gas industry as a whole is kind of facing, a lot of political challenge, a lot of challenge out there in terms of climate and things of that nature. I can tell you, in the 10 years I've been here, and you've been here even longer than I've been here, Randy, we have seen a lot of improvement in terms of what those gas fireplaces do. It used to be just holes punched in a burner and let them burn.
Just let it burn, exactly. They've made huge strides in making those gas appliances more efficient for sure. And that's just going to continue to grow and get better and better as they progress.
Absolutely. And I know manufacturers are making a heavy shift as we see political climates change in different areas, one being the state of California, trying to eliminate gas as a whole, natural gas as a whole, and they're working through the court systems out there. All of a sudden, it brings on the need, not necessarily the want anymore, but the need for electric fireplaces.
For electric, yeah, I just had a conversation with a contractor this week, and out in California and the municipality that he's in, with the new builds, they cannot install any gas product, so it has to be an electric. And that's where the conversation started to go to is, which electrics are to go with. Tell me about them, because there are so many different electrics.
Yeah. So what is it that the future holds for electric?
I think what you're going to see there is just the enhanced realism as these things go. The technology is just going to lead into more realistic flame effects, which is going to mimic that natural movement and appearance of like your traditional fire that you see, like whether it's a gas or a wood burning fire. So the imagery, whether it's holographic projections on 3D displays, just creating that image as real as possible in an electric unit, Mike.
Yeah, that is, I think, and we've talked about it before when we've talked about electric fireplaces. We've done a lot of, I don't even know what you want to call it. We've looked at a lot of electric fireplaces, and they have definitely gotten better. There's a lot of breathtaking technology. It is. It's basically technology that has been turned into an electric fireplace that is fantastic. You wouldn't even know. But I will say this. You see it coming in the gas fireplace world as well. We'll get into those. So the first topic we wanted to cover, to just kind of compare or discuss, I should say, gas and electric, is design versatility. These have made great strides on the gas side from what I remember, and then electric is like, it's just an open door when it comes to design versatility.
Yeah, just because the versatility of, just touching on the gas, they continue to get better at that, meaning offering a range of styles, sizes, kind of, getting together with the architects and the designers on what they're looking at and the applications that they want to use, said fireplaces. So they've made great improvements on offering more product. They have a lot more versatility in that space that somebody's working with. Because before, for years it was just your traditional square style units, so your basic sizes. And then we came into linear, but then maybe the linears were too deep. Maybe you have some depth constraints there that you can't work with. We're starting to see those really shrink down from, if it was a 24-inch deep, now you can get something that's in 12 inches deep, and then in some cases even smaller. And that's in a gas unit, Mike. We've continued to see big changes there, and I really don't see that changing anytime soon either, just to keep up.
Agreed. I mean, you start to, just to try and fit a gas fireplace into a space that manufacturers have attacked and now have different designs. And when I say design, it's going to be a rectangle with flames on the inside, right? But the ability to put that fireplace into a space that 10 years ago you wouldn't have been able to. Now to be able to vent that properly without spending thousands and thousands of dollars, they've done an excellent job of being able to try to satisfy a lot of different markets when it comes to the versatility of design and abilities that those fireplaces have to be able to function. One big one, I think we've talked about it before, is heat. Certain restaurants that you'd go into and say, "Ooh, can I sit over there?" And the wait staff would shoot you straight. They're like, "Oh no, you don't want to sit there because that fireplace is going to come on here in about 30 minutes and it's going to cook you out of there." Right?
Right. And so we have all these units now that, we even have units that, to speak to that don't produce any heat. We can discharge all that heat to the outside. You can sit right next to a fire without getting, baked yourself while you're waiting for your baked omelet. So it makes it nice. And then also, that being said, with the units themselves, and speaking of the depth, you want to think of the footprint of the fireplaces. Used to take up so much of a 2 feet of a footprint into a living space or into a restaurant or a hotel. That could make the difference in whether someone decides to put a fireplace in or not, because maybe they don't want to take up an extra 2 feet of that, footprint, in the space. And so you find something that's going to, reduce that as much as possible. And they're out there now.
There's a lot of good options. You're right. Now, there are still certain spaces, though, where I'm never going to be able to get a gas fireplace for, a multitude of reasons, which puts us into the discussion of electric.
The electric ones, yeah. Now you're getting into something that's, talk about versatility. We're space saving, almost calling it those with the electrics, because you can get electrics in a linear that are 6 inches in depth. There's, the wall mount versions, and then if you're going to build it into the wall, 24 inches, 120 inches, it's really, really opened up, Mike. That is with the electrics as far as what options you have, the styles.
Not to mention the ability to put them everywhere. There are limitations on gas fireplaces in terms of bathrooms and bedrooms and those types of things, air makeup, all of that. When it comes to electric, man, I could be enjoying a fire anywhere. And there are a lot of health benefits to that. When it comes to versatility, they both have come a long ways, and I'm really looking forward to see how the whole gas piece plays out here, because it's old in the industry, so they're reinventing themselves in terms of gas fireplaces. Electric, though, I'm watching just kind of happen right in front of me.
You have fire-related questions and we have answers. You can email us your questions at podcast@woodlanddirect.com or give us a call at 833-584-1989. We would love to be able to answer them right here on the Experts in Fire podcast.
Here's one thing that's really cool. We're just gonna kind of segue right into our next section. What that advancement does is it has pushed both of these segments into the ability to integrate with smart technology.
Yeah, technology, absolutely. I mean, because we live in a world with all this of our smartphones and tablets and our lights, our smart home systems, our pool systems for the house, and all these different things. So that just leads right into the fireplaces, whether it's gas or electric. Regarding gas, it's just allowing users to be able to start that fireplace with an app that they download to their phone or to their tablets or whatever they're using to be able to turn those fireplaces on and off. And then electric's electric. It's even easier to integrate that technology to it. We have a tablet downstairs set up for one of our fireplaces, and it can sit there and modify all the colors, the LEDs, the flames via tablet. Definitely moving very quickly into that direction.
So, I mean, a lot of cool stuff going on with the smart technology, the whole home technology, things of that nature that you can tie your fireplaces into. On the gas side, what about electric?
As far as the electric, the integration, they're going to still continue with they're already doing that and putting in these mobile apps like we talked about in our control that we have downstairs. It actually gives you, I think, more options within some of the apps to control the said fireplace, if that fireplace has the app for it. And then the flames itself, we have one that actually has like that realistic wood, and when you're looking at it, it looks like they have those embers popping off, but it's electric. Amazing. It's just amazing. And so that is just going to continue to get better and better.
Yeah, electric, when it comes to the smart technology, I think that's really their niche, as people, especially the younger generation. And I got to admit, I keep saying these types of things when we talk about it, your 20s and 30s. I like to think of myself as a part of that because I agree with them. It's flipping cool. It's neat. It's to the base core of who we were as kids, Randy, like out in a field, and we had some matches with us. Fire cool.
Right.
Let's talk a little bit about, because, as young people grow and buy their first homes and their second homes, and to talk about and discuss efficiencies and, how much is this going to cost me to run and all of those types of things, because people have to start paying bills. So let's just touch that real fast, Randy, on the gas side. What kind of advancements have been made there?
Yeah, so as far as the gas efficiency, the units themselves, I mean, they're going to constantly work on the burner technology, whether that's some type of insulating in the materials, just leading to more efficient usage of the gas in the fireplaces itself, which when they make these changes, Mike, they're making them to help reduce the energy consumption and then the operating cost of the fireplaces. They'll continue to do that and just make them better and better, which results in the end-use consumer saving money, but maximizing the heat that's coming from the unit, if that's what they're using the fireplace for. So those kind of things we're going to see get better and better over time in like the direct fireplaces, and even in some of like your B vents that are we're seeing more and more of as well.
On the electric side, Randy, when it comes to energy efficiency there, what do you know?
I mean, so, yeah, it's just because it's electric. So, I mean, it's just the advancements in the energy efficiency for electric fireplaces is just really more environmentally friendly and cost effective compared to your wood and gas when we talk about the efficiency itself. The heat output on electric fireplaces typically, if they're like 120 volts, it might be like 4,500 to 5,000. If they wire those at 240, that could be, anywhere from 93 to 10,000 BTUs of heat distribution. But they're still going to do the best they can to get the wattage down, but they're constantly working on that as well, just to minimize the energy that those are going to take to operate for the electric units.
One of the cool things that in both sectors here is discussion to have on customization, right? What kind of options do we have when it comes to customization on both the gas and the electric side of things?
So, yeah, when it comes to customization, a lot of that is going to be geared around whether you can get LED lights built into the fireplace. If it has LED light features, you can get built into it. We do have a manufacturer that if we want something linear and transition to in a gas see-through, we can get some of that into a custom, a size that they're looking for in the burners. But yeah, it's going to really you're looking at like the media on the inside of it, all of the LED lighting itself, like kind of we talked about being able to operate that thing with some type of controller, adjusting the flame height up and down with the fireplace, with the gas fireplace. So having that variable control. So there are certain things that you can customize interior-wise of your fireplace for the aesthetic value of the unit. And then depending on the application of the fireplace, you might be able to get a specific size.
Yeah, that's, when it comes to customization, there are so many cool things that, and I think it boils back to what we talked about on the technology piece, right? There's so many places that they're trying to drive new technology. It's going to give you the ability, and, we really should have used the phrase customized experience, right? Do you want a tall flame or a small flame? Do you want the ability to have thermostatic control? Those types of things. It's not necessarily customization. Hey, I want a 100-foot long gas fireplace. Now, call us if you need one. We can talk about it.
Right. Yes.
That's a different story altogether. So yeah, the ability to manipulate the fire box into the ambiance that you're feeling for that moment has come a long way on the gas fireplace side.
It has. It's just allowing homeowners to be able to pick and choose and have more options for what is going to be inside of that fireplace. If it's a direct vent, behind the glass itself, those logs, the media. Do you want the LED lights? Now, these are going to all vary, Mike, as you know, based on the fireplace manufacturer. Some manufacturers may have fewer options to be able to choose from. Some may have more. So it's just, like you said, it's more of customizing that aesthetic value on the interior part of the fireplace versus the overall size. There's plenty of sizes out there for fireplaces. So, yeah, we definitely want to just confirm that it is interior-wise, all of your media choices and things like that.
Well, and so compare that to the electric side.
Yeah, when it comes to electric, there are a couple different electric options out there that literally, and from a length standpoint and how you're going to build the fireplace, to allow you to go to, like you mentioned, 100 inches on an electric fireplaces. I mean, there's some fireplaces that are already built to that size. There are a few more options there, but then with the electrics, same thing, customizing options, flame colors, the intensity of the flame, the patterns of the flames. There's going to have a bunch of different things there. And then we've talked about the installation. It's really open with that because you can literally put any type of materials around them. So that really allows you to customize your aesthetic value way more than a gas because of what you can place around that fireplace.
I think that's one of the standout customizations in the whole discussion. So, Randy, let's just sum this whole thing up here. On the gas side, the overall future of what we're looking at, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, overall, gas fireplaces and the Hearth design, it's expected just to combine that innovation and the sustainability in keeping with that aesthetic appeal to meet all the evolving needs of the designers, the architects, and then especially the homeowners. I think they're just going to keep driving in that direction. Where when you get into the electric fireplaces, they're just going to be on point to keep up the levels of, the realism, customization, the connectivity, the technology that we talked about. And then those innovations are just going to continue as well to meet all, with the same thing that homeowners are looking for and designers want to incorporate into their plans.
Yeah, I agree. This was a fun discussion. Yeah, again, if any of our pros out there are listening and they're going, "Hey, I see this to the future," or you're in discussions and you have some insight, please reach out to us. We give you several ways that you can contact us, but get a hold of us. We'd love to have the discussion. And also, we're going to be at the International Builder Show in Las Vegas at the end of February here. So come on out, come see us. We're sending out email blasts and stuff for the tags or the badges to get in. So we'd love to have a conversation with you, talk to you in person. Randy will be there. I'll be there. We're going to be running around and saying hi to folks. And then we'd love an opportunity to talk to some of our pros and get their information in front of our listeners as well. So I do believe, Randy, we're coming up on a very important podcast here right after this one.
Yes, sir. We sure are. We are coming up on 100.
100. Number 100.
100 episodes. You guys will want to tune into that one.
There might even be video for that one.
There might even be some video for you to watch with that one.
You can see why we hide behind microphones and we don't do live shows. But yeah, 100th episode. After you listen to this one, make sure you tune in for that one. Check it out. And I might wave hi to everybody. I'm not sure. I can't remember. I looked at the camera so many times. But you'll understand after you watch this episode why I don't remember, because there might be pain involved. That's my that's my leader into why you should watch and listen to the 100th episode. So,
oh, good.
All right, Randy, as always, brother, thank you so much for being here, man, and taking time away from making money and spending time with our pros and myself, as always.
Absolutely.
All right, everybody, we'll see you next time.